Substance abuse history. She did not like to smoke. Well, I happen to know this child. Didn't know she ever even smoked. Said her last drink was 2 years ago. She'd never been intoxicated. Says mother, family, psychiatric history. Mother has some psychiatric problems. She is on medications, but mother did not like to elaborate. Well, the truth is, the medications are making her psychotic and psychiatric. Don't tell anybody anything. Now, her personal history and family history. She describes her childhood as could have been better. Her father died because he passed away due to an illness. And she thinks if she'd had a phone, she could have called 911 and could have saved her father. No, she couldn't. He had done too much to himself for too long. He drank, he did drugs, he took medications. There was nothing she could do. It was not her fault. Now she's a high school graduate, regular education. Her strengths and weaknesses: supportive mother, high school graduation, non-compliant with medications. That was her strength, that she was non-compliant. She might not have made it to 18 years old if she just took those medicines. Mental status examination. I mean, they really examine you. She's dressed in casual clothes, wearing some artificial jewelry. So what? Slow psychomotor activity, bored but got involved in session. Mood is frustrated and depressed.
Who says?
Wow. Effect is constricted, sad, and appropriate. How can it be sad and appropriate at the same time? Anyway, I mean, they just dissect you. They dissect you so bad. Inside is poor judgment and impulse control affair. She was medicated. Treatment recommendations. Now, she's on Evexor, Neurontin, and Topamax. So now she's on more meds. If she gets older, she's got more problems because she was started on meds. And it says call respond number if you have any adverse effects. Patient showed adequate understanding of suggestions made to her and agreed to comply with them. Well, these doctors are trained to give you some suggestions. Medication management, Pennyroyal mental health. Wow. Subjective. She was resistant and said the happy pill is making her sad. Okay. Topamax, she says, is causing her memory problems. So, her depressed mood and everything is the medication. Yeah, she was a teenager. She was sad. She had anxiety. And now she's got more problems because of the medications. Meds messed her up. Wow. Emergency use, call respond in case of adverse effects of medications or if the patient becomes suicidal. The medications make you suicidal. Progress note. Client is currently not taking psychotropic medication. Good. She threw them away because she has her own free will, and they don't like that. She does not identify any major stressors at this time. because she tossed the meds. Clinical intake. Set up another chart in a new psychosocial meds made her fat. And it made her more depressed. So now she's got more issues. She's a relatively large girl now because she has been taking meds that made her bigger. Yeah, they do that. Cultural background, white Christian. You see, when a child is born, they take on the religion of the parent. And that's just the way it is. Medical history, child has been placed on stimulants, yada, 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 and yada. She was forced to take stimulants by state social workers. The judgment, insight, and memory appear to be fair. No, they got worse and worse. She's anxious quite easily. When she's a teenager, she's going to be. Withdrawal is mild. Treatment being fair. Don't do it. Work through your own problems. And then it goes down through here, all this stuff, and her strengths. Well, and then here at the bottom, Dr. Korn says both terms of therapy as well as possible use of medication if deemed appropriate and accepted by the parent. Not accepted, say no. Now, for Hopkins County School Psychoeducation Report. Yeah. Was initially evaluated in 1997 while attending school in Hanson Elementary with behavior problems including inappropriate social interaction, acceptance of rules, correction, acceptance of failure, mood swings. Records, listen to this, records also indicate that this type of behavior had been observed, are you hearing me? Observed since November of 1992. November of 1992, this child was 17 months old. Are you kidding me? Who was observing her? Well, I'll tell you who. State social workers. She was evaluated at Penn Rural Mental Health Center. And in 1997, at the age of 6 years old, they had significant concerns of excessive suffering, anger control, resistance, delinquent. Are you kidding me? 6 years old is a young child.
They can't even talk much at that age.
Significant concerns of self-control, interpersonal skills, happiness, coordination, attention. 6 years old. Folks, Penn Rural mental health and social workers are evil. That's just plain and simple. And then on down here, it says the raters had concerns, areas of social problems, delinquent behavior, aggressive behavior. Who are the raters? Okay? Who are the raters? Who are these people? What gives them the right to say this? about anybody. Are they medicated? Are they self-medicated? Are they evil? You don't know. Environmental. It moves on down here, and it said the family has used community resources with family youth and service center for food at times. I know these people. That's not true. Since the parent used verbal and correction for grounding, the parent whooped that baby's ass. Well, she wasn't a baby. She was 7 or 8 years old. She spanked that ass, excuse my language, at that age. Academic history indicates she attended preschool and Head Start. Those are state-controlled schools, and you have no idea how they treated your child or what they taught your child. You don't know. And then on down here, this examiner observed. She sat sideways in her cubicle and read her book. Oh, wow. He also noted she doesn't like to go out for classes but rather be antisocial. Well, that's because she was bullied by strangers. I happen to know that for a fact. And then the examiner observed that she had got caught in the hallway without her mandatory agenda book. She was forced to return to her classroom to retrieve the agenda book before she was allowed a pass in the hall. Who made up those rules? That is so ignorant. It says she doesn't seem to be fond of authoritative figures. Well, she probably was bullied by them because she was bullied by other strangers. Now, authority figures that have respect for other people, they're okay. Bullies are not okay. So, yeah, I wouldn't be fond of them either. Cognitive functioning. Okay, I can't pronounce that. Okay, Woodcock-Johnson III tests of cognitive abilities. Okay, who are Woodcock and Johnson, and why are both of them? Okay, I'm going to have to make fun of this. Cock and Johnson. Yeah. Who are these two people that made this test? Are they medicated? Are they bullies? Are they part of some elite group
To eliminate
that
people?
just wants to find out who's smart and who's not? Yeah. The general intellectual ability is used to predict global school or vocational outcomes. Yeah, that's what it says. If you read between the lines, that means they want to know how smart your child is, and they want to know how they can mess them up. I am not kidding.
My opinion.
And then all this, if you're smart, you have any intelligence, they want you on meds because bullies don't want you smarter than they are. She put forth an honest effort. Yes, she was an honest person. She might not be by now because she was taking meds. Now, achievement tests. I say tests on it so to make you feel important. And I'm going to skip down through here real quick, and you can freeze frame it to read it. What it pretty much is their test is to see how smart you are, so they can know just exactly what medication to put you on to make you unsmart, make you miserable, to make you sick, for you to self-destruct, or your child in this case. She is now, something was estimated to be at a 5th grade level. Well, she was born a smart kid with all the medication she was forced to be put on, and against her will. It's messed her up. She would, though, when writing sentences, reword them in a creative manner in order to avoid words that she might misspell. Well, I do that too. Then it goes down through here. Achenbach child behavior checklist. Who is Achenbach? Really? Child behaviors? Look at this stuff. Conduct, opposition, anxiety, affective, rule-breaking behavior. Are you kidding me? Social problems. They want you to be zombies on medication, and that's just a fact. If you're on medications, you're zombified. You will do what you're told to who you're told, no matter if it's right or wrong. Achenbach child behavior. Who is Achenbach? Is he part of an elite group?
Is he Antichrist?
What is he? Who is he? Is he medicated? Does he fall in any of these categories here? Now, as I look down through all this stuff, adaptive behavior, withdrawal, depressed, social, one teacher says this, one teacher says that, one teacher said that. Really? Now it says the rating scales were sent to yada yada, but were not returned. Good for her for not returning them. And it says, let's go back to rule-breaking behavior. In the Holy Bible, a king told midwives to murder all the men-child born in a certain culture, race. And the midwives were afraid of God and broke those rules that the king had commanded. So, yeah, you need some rule-breaking behavior. Let's talk about empathy. Empathy is a human behavior.
Human
if you
trait.
have no empathy, well, it speaks for itself. Social skills rating system. Alrighty, this is BS. Social behaviors that can affect a teacher-student relationships, peer acceptance, academic performance. Social skills are socially accepted, learned behaviors. And to avoid socially unaccepted, responsive, sharing, helping, initiating relationships, controlling one's temper. Social skills that are commonly valued in society. Let's talk about this. Social skills. There are good types of social skills, like excuse me, pardon me. But to avoid socially unacceptable responses. Now, if you're a bully and you walk up and punch me, it's socially not acceptable for me to punch you back, but I'm going to do it. You hear me? You hear what I'm saying? And if you're a teacher and you want me to take my clothes off in the little girl's room, I'm not going to do it. And that comes in with the defiant to authority part there. You have to be defiant to evil authority. And you can't be defiant if you're medicated, and that's the whole point. Skills that are commonly valued in society. Well, I'm going to be blunt here, but kissing ass is probably valued in society. And my lips just never did do that. You hear what I'm saying? I hope so. Your children need to have some rule-breaking skills, some defiant skills, and that's why they want them medicated.
And you
so
too.
they'll just be little zombies and do what they're told, whether it's right or wrong. Now, this person had cooperative skills, but fewer empathy skills. Well, of course not. By the age of 18 and all the medication, the empathy was sucked right out of her, making her a zombie.
Per se.
Now, Mr. Arnold, whoever he is, perceived problem behaviors to be average. Rating scales were sent to her parent, but they were not returned. Good for her, she gave them no information. Now, Mr. Arnold perceived her other skills to be in average range area.
I doubt it after all the meds.
This person was described by her mother as happy, athletic, artistic, shy, social, and moody, a young lady that puts herself down. She passed the school vision screening with glasses. Well, I happen to know about the situation, and doctors messed up her vision on purpose. She went for glasses just for reading, and the doctor didn't tell her just to wear them for reading. He didn't tell her nothing. So she just thought she was supposed to keep them on the whole time, and it ruined her vision. Don't take your kids to get glasses. They need their eyesight the way they were born.
It will get better.
It does not improve them. It makes them worse. If you have a 5 or 7-year-old child that can't see the blackboard, tell the teachers to move them up closer or move them back. Adjust the situation. Don't adjust your child. It says the child has received counseling services, however, the parent did not elaborate. Also, the child was hospitalized due to taking Adderall that kept her awake for 3 days. The child was 5 years old. At that particular time, the parent was put on medications as well as the child. Now, the girl is at 18, and she's taking Seroquel sometimes. Taking Seroquel at all is a big mistake, but it probably saved her life that she didn't take it all the time. It probably saved her life that she was non-compliant with her meds. Then vocational functioning. This is way too much information. Do not give out this information. What you want to do when you grow up. This is information strangers don't need to know. And then it says employment, recreation, independent living. All this is information that people don't need to know, because they will use it against you later. This is how they observe you, examine you, to kill you. It says, it is an important note that there is much improvement since her last evaluation. That's because she tossed her meds. Now, determination of the most appropriate and least restrictive placement for so-and-so is the responsibility of the SUBRAC. Members of this committee should consider all available data. Yeah. Who are these members? What clubs are they involved in? Are they racist? Are they socialists? Are they communists? Are they medicated? Well, that about wraps it up, except because she didn't take all her medicine, because she was defiant about taking her medicine, she grew up to the age of 18, and she has no criminal record. That's right, at the age of 18, with the odds against her, she has no criminal record. If she just stayed on the medications, I believe she would have been a criminal or worse. The sad part of the story is she is no longer a Christian, and she's grown. She's out on her own. She has a living boyfriend. Her parents did not raise her to be a whore. And she takes medications. She takes birth control pills to have the boyfriend. Now, if the boyfriend loved her, he would have a vasectomy or wear condoms instead of her self-terminating with a birth control pill.
That causes problems.
And that's what they do. They broke all this information down. They set you up to die. Now, this information is very deep. It's just like the Bible. Only certain people can understand what I've just told you, explained to you. Not everybody's going to understand what I just said. But I hope some of you do. To break it all down to you, do not give your kids medicine.
My spiritual
Do
advice.
not take medicine. It's all a lie.
My spiritual advice.
They are out to get you, and they're very good at it. They've been doing it for centuries. Peace, people.